Hello, and welcome to the audio file of SCP-6330 that you requested. Let's begin. Item number 6330, Level 1 Unrestricted. Containment Class, Esoteric. Secondary Class, Uncontained. Disruption Class, Dark. Risk Class, Notice. There are currently no assigned site director, or research head for SCP-6330. Assigned task force, however, is MTF Iota-12, also known as Lucid Dreamers. Special Containment Procedures. Due to the nature of SCP-6330, physical containment is not currently possible. Funding should be supplied to companies encouraging the sale and purchase of baby monitor cameras in an attempt to detect and witness SCP-6330 sleepwalker events. Should reports of a sleepwalker event circulate, Mobile Task Force Iota-12 Lucid Dreamers are tasked with investigation and suppression of public media circulation or news reports regarding SCP-6330. All civilians who view 6330-1 or -2 instances are to be immediately administered Class A amnestics. At any time, one SCP-6330-1 should be held within a small item locker in the site nearest to its recovery. Current study instance kept at Site 44. The instance should be examined weekly and any changes reported to the nearest Level 3 researcher. SCP-6330-1 that are affected by sleepwalker events are to be left in the possession of the family they were discovered with, as no anomalous activity has ever been recorded following an event. Families in possession of SCP-6330-1 should be monitored in case of further activity. For brevity, I shall just only refer to SCP-6330-1 and -2 as -1 and -2. It's getting pretty hard to keep saying this over and over again, and you understand what I mean. Description: SCP-6330 is a phenomenon affecting stuffed animals worldwide, though it is most common in teddy bears. Manifestation of this phenomenon is referred to as a sleepwalker event. Sleepwalker events occur only within households of families with young children, typically between the ages of 1 and 14. Events begin by the manifestation of entities referred to as -2. These creatures typically blend in with shadows, though this mechanism is poorly understood, and somewhat resemble creatures associated with fantasy, such as dragons or ogres, and always manifest beneath a child's bed. -2 instances depict behavior indicating that they intend to hunt or prey upon the sleeping child. -1 are stuffed animals already present in the child's room that seem to be non-anomalous prior to -2 manifestations. -1 have been shown to instantly manifest small wooden medieval has been crossed out, weaponry in order to combat -2, and assumably to protect the child. Battles have been shown to last upwards of 20 minutes and are always near silent. In all has been crossed out. Most observed cases, -1 have emerged victorious, though are severely wounded during the skirmish. Torn wool and stuffings are common, and following all known events, -1 have died due to their injuries. Prior to death, the instance will drag the -2 corpse back under the bed frame and demanifest. It will emerge a short while later and attempt to climb the bed. The -1 will then embrace the child and pass away. Addendum 6330-1 Test Logs. Due to 6330 instances being generally random and irregular, a total of 1 controlled test has taken place. The following is a log of the events. Test 6330-14. Location: Site 44. Date: 14/7/1987. Forward: the following test was conducted on the grounds of Site 44. Researcher's 7-year-old daughter, henceforth referred to as Subject, was placed in a humanoid containment room and was soothed to sleep using a teddy bear that researcher claimed that the subject had a strong emotional attachment to. This experiment was conducted a total of 13 times prior to the following sleepwalker event. MTF Iota-12 were stationed at the room's entrance for a swift intervention if needed. Begin log. Researcher Pines. Subject has entered REM sleep. Subject: quiet snoring. No anomalous activity is observed for 3 hours. At 1:40 PDT, and -2 is observed beneath the subject's bed. 1:40. A quiet rustling sound can be heard beneath the bed, and sounds reminiscent of a large animal's breathing are audible. A pair of large, scaly-clawed hands grasp the rim of the bed. A creature resembling a western dragon emerges. It stands approximately 3 meters above the ground, switching between bipedal and quadrupedal motion. 1:45. For 5 minutes, the -2 patrols the room, moving silently and methodically, unaware of the surveillance cameras. 1:50. -2 turns towards the subject, poising itself at the foot of the bed, stretching its arms out towards the subject. It gapes its jaws wide, exposing rows of large, pointed teeth and a dark pink tongue. Its motions at this time are likened to that of a snake. As it seems to prepare to lunge at the subject, the stuffed bear stands up on the subject's chest and draws a small sword and shield from an unknown source. It positions its sword's tip pointed downward and has its shield at its side. -1 hunches over slightly and twirls its sword, maintaining eye contact with -2. After 10 seconds, the -2 throws its jaws at the subject, and -1 responds with a leap towards the subject's attacker, slicing -2's eye. The -2 responds with a quiet grunt and touches its wound, which leaks a viscous black liquid. The -1 jumps towards -2 and utilizes fabric from the bedsheets to quickly cover the wound, apparently attempting to minimize mess and evidence of its presence. 159. Both instances are in battle for 9 minutes before the first signs of damage to -1. Following the severing of one of -2's dorsal spikes, it strikes the -1 with a heavy slap, which sends -1 across the room. -1 stands back up, placing a hand on its stomach, and looks at its hand, which is now covered in wool and stuffing. They charge at each other once again, though the subject seems to move slightly in their sleep. Both instances stop and quickly stare at the subject before the subject settles. The instances resume fighting. 210. After 20 minutes of battle, both instances are heavily scarred and injured. After kicking itself off of the -2's nose, -1 sprints from one side of the room towards -2, leaping into the air and landing a fatal blow, slicing the neck of the other instance, which falls lifeless to the floor. -2 is dragged by the -1 back under the bed. 215. A short while later, the -1 emerges. Damage sustained includes loss of one button eye, exposed stuffing, and worn wool. It places its sword and broken shield on a nearby table. -1 then drags itself up the bedsheets towards the subject, who was sleeping peacefully throughout the test. It rests beside the child, laying motionless. It seems to glare directly at the camera, and a small woolen thumb protrudes from its round hand, giving a thumbs up to researchers. Its head flops onto the child's cheek before it ceases to move. End log. Upon conclusion of this test, MTF Iota-12 carried out heavy investigations of the bed. The -2's corpse was not discovered beneath the bed frame, though trace amounts of the aforementioned black substance was present. Samples taken revealed to be composed of raw hemoglobin and water, though its viscous nature and other physical properties do not support the discovery. The -1 instance was removed and placed in secure storage. It has to date shown no further anomalous properties. Addendum 6330-2, following a sleepwalker event taking place on 7/7/2001. A news headline with the title, "Young Boy Reported Missing from Family Home in Portland," was circulated en masse among citizens of Portland, Oregon. Upon investigators' arrival at the scene, it was discovered that the young boy's room had large trails of viscous black liquid streaking the walls. Investigators soon requested Foundation intervention, at which point MTF Iota-12 were dispatched. Testing confirmed the substance to be that commonly associated with -2, and Iota-12 requested permission to carry out full investigation of the event. This request was approved by Overseer Command. The following file was written by MTF Iota-12 personally. I recommend all informal comments should be ignored. Director Woods. Event 131 Incident Report. Report 6330-131. Overall disruption, high. Like, really bad. Summary. Sleepwalker occurred on the night of 6/7/2001. No camera footage, witness reports, or any signs of exactly what happened, though neighbors who were awake reported hearing thumping from the room, trails of the suspected -2 viscera on the walls. Child missing. Additionally, the aforementioned child's stuffed orca was found in the corner of the room. Well, really parts of it were all over the place, but its main body and head sat hunched over near the bed. It had an amount of black substance on it, but its eyes were damp with water. We suspect that it was a -1 instance. Additional notes. Local authorities and media companies have picked up on the case. The public are very interested in trying to figure out what caused the disappearance. We told them that we think an animal or something came into the room, kid put up a fight, and that the substance was blood. But the kid lost and was taken by it. Unfortunately, they're not happy with that answer, and people are demanding we stop lying to them. Breaking. Portland boy found. 2 days after the sleepwalker event, the child was rediscovered, unconscious behind a hedge in the family's garden. A brief interview revealed that the child witnessed the final minutes of this event. He claimed, "My orca was fighting a big monster, and then the monster grabbed me and took me out the window, but someone saw it. So it dropped me and I hid in the bush." A second interview revealed no discoveries, but the child claimed the monster ate his socks. The words ate his socks is currently a hyperlink which redirects you to SCP-3887. It is unknown what the -2's intentions were had it been able to escape with the child. All involved were amnesticized and a cover story was fabricated, with Iota-12 encouraging parents in the local area to purchase video surveillance cameras. Addendum 6333. On 19/11/2008, a call was filed to local authorities by a family in Cambridge, England. They claimed to have discovered footage of a sleepwalker event within their son's room. Mobile Task Force Iota-12 lucid dreamers were dispatched to investigate. The footage was seized by personnel, and all members of the family were administered Class A amnestics. Document 6330-184. Location: Cambridge, England, within the family's residence. Date: 19/11/2008. Forward. The following is a textual description of the events witnessed by baby monitors. It should be noted that this is the first digital recording of a sleepwalker event outside of controlled testing. Begin log. 12:01. The child's bed sways slightly as an instance of -2 emerges. The instance resembles an unknown creature, though it is described as having a large, muscular frame and stands upright. The instance walks to the opposite end of the room, hunching over and observing the child for exactly 10 minutes. 12:11. The -2 begins to stand further upright, extending an assumably retractable set of claws. The child's teddy bear, which was placed next to the child, suddenly stands, drawing a bow and quiver. -2 assumes a quadrupedal stance and snarls before lunging towards the bed. The -1 fires a single arrow towards the -2, striking the instance directly in its canine-like snout. -2 responds with a loud huff, reminiscent of that of a bull or bovine. 12:28. The instances battle for approximately 30 minutes, the longest recorded sleepwalker event to date. Both show abilities and skill sets consistent with other -1 and -2 instances. Eventually, -2 has -1 pinned to a nearby wall, seeming to strangle it. The -2 then pulls one of -1's arrows from its arm, plunging it into the -1's chest. -1 shows behaviors likened to those of intense pain. -2 seems to be victorious. The -2 leans its head towards -1, seeming to whisper into the instance's right ear, though audio recordings cannot determine exactly what was vocalized. The -1 lifts up its head, staring blankly into -2's eyes. It reaches behind its back, pulling out a small, entirely wooden Glock 19 handgun. The bear points the weapon into -2's forehead and swiftly fires. The shot creates minimal noise, and the -2's body falls limp. Black viscous fluid is sprayed on the wall. The -1 hauls -2's corpse towards the bed, noticeably limping. It drags the body by its large forearms and demanifests upon reaching the underneath of the bed. 12:40. -1 returns, and briefly stares around the room before turning to the child. It climbs up on a desk and seems to notice a piece of paper and pen. It begins to write a note, which is left on the bedside desk. Heavily wounded, the -1 limps to the bed, falling onto the child's chest with its arms stretched wide. There is no further movement. It perishes next to its child. End log. The following is a report of the investigation, written by MTF Iota-12 following the case's conclusion. Event 184 Incident Report. Report 6330-184. Overall disruption, low. Summary. Sleepwalker began at 12:01, fight approximately 30 minutes. Sleepwalker ended at 12:40, with the neutralization of the affected -1. Really makes us question how many times this happened to us all as kids. Additional notes. -1 produced a note. Only recorded instance of -1s being able to understand English. Reads as following. Hello, Timothy. Thank you for always taking care of me. It was really fun. I was able to repay the favor of protecting you. Unfortunately, I am hurt. I need to go. I am too weak to stay, and I just hope you'll remember me. It's been fun helping you. I've enjoyed my time under your care. Going into this, I knew it would happen. The sleepwalker's coming for you. I'm just happy I could do my job. Goodbye, my friend. I hope I may see you soon. And with that, there is currently nothing else written for SCP-6330. It's kind of interesting, though. SCP-3887-B is apparently an alien kind of thing, which has an entire colony. Makes you think if these two are related in some way. It's not my job to speculate, though. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.